Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. This is Anonymous T. Hope you are having an amazing day today. So today we are discussing the KANDI and the gang ratings, and it is not good, you guys. It is not good for episode 4 that aired on Sunday. It is a season low with 449,000 viewers and a .12 in the demo, which is matching what the series premiere was. So the demo went down significantly. And this is a far cry from the 1 week last week where KANDI did all that promo and was talking about Nene and was talking about Phaedra and this and that. And that's when she had the 623,000 viewers. And I know some of you are going to try to blame the Oscars, but real talk, the Oscars ratings weren't that good either, right? Only about 10 million watched the Oscars, which is a little bit up from when they had the Oscars in 2020, but not by much. So it wasn't like, the Oscar viewings of the past that have, millions and millions of people that tune in. No, right? Because really what took place is, people weren't watching until the Will Smith slap started trending, and then everybody went wild, right? So we're not even going to blame the Oscars. I know some people are going to blame the Grammys that are going to be airing this weekend if the ratings are low again, but we need to just be honest, you guys. We need to just be honest that the show is not what we expected it to be, right? Like, even if you like KANDI, I feel like this show is 5 years too late. I feel like it's very dated, right? And I feel as though when you're showing things that are basically presenting your restaurant in a bad light, your business practice in a bad light, your employees in a bad light, even though you might still be getting people that are going to OLG right now because they're looking to meet KANDI, they're looking to meet, Mama Joyce and Aunt Bertha and everything else, but you can't deny all of these issues, and the health code violations have not improved even since, the show has aired. It's still at a C, still, issues with sanitation, issues with raw stuff, issues with there being mold, some pink slime in the icebox machine. It's just too much, you guys. It is too much. And I think the hope was that this would eventually replace Vanderpump Rules or something. But I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that. And I don't know if it was due to lack of fill this last episode or what it actually was, right? But I will say that I think the show's approach should have been focused on OLG, right? Should have been focused on really building up this restaurant, focusing on, Mama Joyce and her sisters and the recipes, and how they came up with the menu, also talking about, running the restaurant and everything else, but this should have been done 5 years ago. Because for there to still be this many problems all these years later, that's not good. That's not a good sign, and that is going to have a very bad forecast moving forward, for what it ultimately happens with these celebrity restaurants, right? So, I felt like last week was kind of an outlier because of all of the press. And literally, KANDI would need to do press essentially every day until, the show is done airing, to keep it a buck with you. And she'll have to keep mentioning Nene, keep mentioning Phaedra to get people to tune in. Because that is the only time the ratings peaked up. And I was watching everybody who was celebrating and was yeah, this is out to all the haters and blah, 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 blah. And it's nobody's hating. We're seeing the episodes too. We're seeing what it really is. And it's honestly just not entertaining. You're telling me that 30 and 40-year-olds are in this restaurant acting like this, not being professional, doing all this nonsense, and, they're college educated, they can be getting other big time jobs and this and that, and they're doing this. And then you're going to underpay one of your, top managers to come to your other location. You're not going to pay him the same that he's getting, or not even give him time and a half to help out the other restaurant. Like, it's just giving cheap. It's giving, not willing to make changes to people who've been with you for years. But the problem is people take advantage of that, and then they start to slack off on their job, and then they sort of get a complex that you can't do anything to them because you're cool with the boss. But like I had said in the initial video from the initial episode, it just felt like Todd and Kandi don't have time to put in the proper time and effort to really make OLG, the talk of the town. There should be no excuse that this restaurant is still getting bad ratings, right? Every once in a while, yes, there's going to be situations where somebody's not going to have a good customer service experience. Sometimes somebody's not going to have, in a rare occurrence, the food not turn out the way it needed to be or what have you. However, the restaurant has been in business for too long for there still to be all these issues, for there still to not be a generator, for there still to be all of this and that. And maybe Kandi's looking at it, hey, I know this season's going to be dragging us or whatever. I'm going to take, the bad stuff that's in the news and incorporate it into the reality show. So that way it shows us being real and authentic. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to carry it into a season 2. If you're still going to run off of the same issues, with you not wanting to pay for a generator, with you not really paying your staff that much, so therefore they don't care that much, for you not holding people accountable that, want to show up whenever, want to say whatever to the customers, want to do whatever, not make improvements to the restaurant, not make improvements to the sanitation. And the sanitation is very concerning considering we are in year 2 of a pandemic. Like, sanitation should have been the first thing, right? So that is kind of where I'm at, and it's no shade to Kandi. Like, I am proud of Kandi's success, right? But I just don't find the show to be a good look. I thought the show, like I said earlier, was going to focus on Kandi's mom and her aunts and, some of the recipes, how they came up with the menu, and, maybe some of the drinks, like some of their hot ticket items, and really showcasing the food, showcasing the customer service and everything else. But honestly, it's just been showcasing nonsense. And the one thing that you can say about Vanderpump Rules, and even with Sweetie Pies, is for the most part, their food and drink was on point, right? It wasn't all of this, right? Me watching a restaurant show should entice me to go fly out to where your restaurant is, right? I should want to go to Sweetie Pies. I should want to go out, to Lisa Vanderpump's restaurants out in California and Las Vegas and what have you. I should want to fly out to Atlanta and try OLG. But based off of what I've seen these last few episodes, I have no desire to go. And I know there's still going to be some people who are going to go just to go, right? Because they want to say that they went there, right? Because it's a tourist attraction. Because those of you who are Housewives fans and, Escape fans or what have you, or just plain Kandi fans, you're going to want to go and support things that, she has her name attached to. So there's that. But I just don't know at this point, like, what they can do to revamp this. Because pretty much we know how the season's going to play out, right? So is the plan, if this does get a season 2, to really showcase all of the improvements? Or is it going to be more of the same because you have particular people there on that show specifically to cause drama, right? So I guess we'll just stay tuned. We'll stay tuned and see ultimately what takes place. I expect the ratings to be around the same for I know people are going to blame it on the Grammys, and then somebody was talking about pushing the Grammys back. What? It's already been pushed back because of COVID. This is the reschedule, you guys, because these shows are all supposed to be in February. After the Super Bowl, it's supposed to be boom, boom, boom. It's supposed to be like Super Bowl, Grammys, SAG Awards, Oscars, I think, right? But everything got pushed back because of, COVID, the cases increasing, trying to accommodate, a new, setting up, the Dolby Theater, for instance, for the Oscars to where people are 6 feet away from each other and not everybody's on top of each other and everything else. Like, there's a lot of planning that goes into these venues now to accommodate, we're still in a pandemic, even though people are lowering, restrictions for masks and people are making all of these adjustments and things, and certain places are now allowing you, whether or not you're vaccinated, to attend. It doesn't mean the pandemic is over. Because there's still places who are surging. There's still new variants that are coming. That's why I was so surprised that there's so many issues at OLG and sanitation is not at the top of the list for them to make sure, not only their employees, but their customers are, eating in a safe and healthy environment. I mean, that's just like hygiene 101, right? So those are the thoughts I have. Let me know what you guys think of the series low ratings that just came out today. And like I said, I can't even blame the Oscars because the Oscars really didn't have that great of a ratings itself. Really, if had the Will Smith slap not happened, we probably wouldn't even known the Oscars were on. So, and that's just keeping it a buck. And even I have no desire to watch the Grammys, but I know some people who are going to. But none of my favorite artists are performing or are nominated this year, so there's no reason for me to tune in. Unless there's like a secret performance or some big tribute that they're keeping under wraps or something. But other than that, from what I've seen, there's no need for me to watch. So I'll still tune in to KANDI Show to see what it's about, but I expect it to be around the same type of ratings. So there's that. Normally in the past, like if this was like Real Housewives of Atlanta back when like their ratings were through the roof, if it was like on an Oscars night or Grammys night, they would have pushed back the episode, right? If like something big was happening, right? Like the Super Bowl or something, they would have pushed back. They would have been like, okay, we'll be back in 2 weeks. But they didn't do that. So I don't know. So we'll see what takes place. We will see what happens. But right now, it's a series low. It's the same demo as the premiere. And not to compare this to Portia's show or Lisa Vanderpump show, but we kind of have to. These ratings are not up to par, you guys. And I had a feeling that last week was going to be an outlier because of all the press that KANDI did. And literally, KANDI would have to do that kind of press for the next month to maintain that type of viewership. And would have to discuss Nene and Phaedra ad nauseum to get people to tune in. And I just don't think KANDI's going to do that for the next month to get people to watch the show. So those are all the thoughts I have. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.